Roland Doe, whose real identity remains undisclosed and is known by the pseudonym Robbie Mannheim, was a young boy living in Maryland in 1949. At the time, Roland was only 14 years old, and his life would soon become intertwined with reports of supernatural occurrences that would later inspire the novel and film The Exorcist. Reported strange and disturbing phenomena. In 1949, Roland's family began to notice inexplicable events unfolding within their home. These occurrences were not easily dismissed as mere coincidences or pranks. Instead, they involved phenomena that defied rational explanation. Unexplained noises. The family frequently heard strange noises coming from various parts of their house. These sounds were often described as banging, knocking, or scratching noises that seemed to come from nowhere and could not be traced to any source. Movement of objects. Objects in the household reportedly moved on their own accord. Furniture would slide across the floor or be thrown across rooms without any visible cause or physical intervention. Physical effects on Roland. Roland himself began to exhibit signs of distress and alteration. He reportedly experienced seizures and would speak in languages that he had never learned before, sometimes in Latin, a language associated with Catholic rituals. Psychological and emotional changes. Beyond the physical manifestations, Roland's behavior also changed dramatically. He became increasingly withdrawn and showed signs of aggression. His demeanor fluctuated between periods of extreme fear and moments of unsettling calmness. These occurrences deeply troubled Roland's family, who sought explanations from medical professionals and religious authorities alike. Their search for answers ultimately led them to seek the intervention of their Lutheran pastor, who witnessed some of the inexplicable events firsthand. The pastor, after witnessing these events and ruling out conventional explanations, eventually suggested that Roland's experiences might be the result of demonic possession. This suggestion set in motion a series of events that would lead to the involvement of Catholic priests and the performance of exorcism rituals in an attempt to free Roland from what was believed to be a malevolent spiritual influence. Early signs of possession. Furniture moving on its own and unexplained noises. One of the earliest and most unsettling occurrences noted by Roland's family was the movement of furniture without any apparent cause. Chairs and tables would reportedly slide across the floor or even overturn, seemingly influenced by an unseen force. Accompanying these movements were unexplained noises that the family heard throughout their home. These sounds ranged from loud bangs to strange knocking or scratching noises that could not be traced back to any identifiable source. Objects allegedly levitated around him. As the disturbances escalated, more bizarre phenomena began to manifest around Roland. Witnesses claimed to have seen objects levitating in his presence, defying gravity and hovering in midair. These levitations were particularly disturbing as they defied natural laws and contributed to the growing belief that Roland was somehow connected to supernatural forces beyond comprehension. Speaking in unlearned languages. Perhaps one of the most chilling signs was Roland's sudden ability to speak in languages he had never been exposed to before. Witnesses, including family members and religious authorities, reported instances where Roland would speak fluently in Latin, a language traditionally associated with Catholic rituals and exorcisms. This ability to speak in Latin, a language completely foreign to him and not taught in his environment, added a profound layer of mystery and dread to his already disturbing behavior. These early signs of possession deeply unsettled Roland's family, prompting them to seek answers from their community and ultimately leading them to consider the possibility of supernatural intervention. The combination of physical phenomena, inexplicable movements, and linguistic abilities beyond Roland's knowledge painted a picture of a young boy caught in the grip of forces that defied rational explanation. These events set the stage for the subsequent involvement of religious authorities and the desperate measures taken to alleviate Roland's apparent suffering, seeking help fearing supernatural involvement, as the inexplicable phenomena surrounding Roland intensified. His family became increasingly concerned and fearful. They witnessed firsthand the unsettling events such as furniture moving on its own, unexplained noises, and objects allegedly levitating around Roland. These occurrences deeply troubled the family, leading them to suspect that supernatural forces might be at play in their home. Turning to their Lutheran pastor, seeking guidance and reassurance, Roland's family turned to their Lutheran pastor for advice. They hoped that he could provide spiritual insight or practical solutions to alleviate the disturbances plaguing their household. The pastor, initially skeptical, but compelled by the sincerity and distress of Roland's family, agreed to visit their home to witness the phenomena for himself. Pastor's witnessing of events. During his visit, the Lutheran pastor reportedly experienced firsthand some of the inexplicable events that Roland and his family had been enduring. He observed furniture moving without apparent cause, heard unexplained noises, and possibly witnessed objects levitating. The pastor's own encounter with these phenomena left a significant impression, challenging his initial skepticism and prompting him to reconsider the nature of Roland's experiences. Recommendation of an exorcism. After witnessing these disturbing events, the Lutheran pastor reached a pivotal conclusion. He recommended that Roland's family seek an exorcism. This recommendation stemmed from the pastor's belief that the disturbances could be attributed to demonic possession rather than conventional explanations. The suggestion of an exorcism marked a significant turning point for Roland's family, signaling their acknowledgement of the severity and supernatural nature of the events unfolding around them. Roland's family's journey from initial concern over strange phenomena to seeking assistance from their Lutheran pastor highlights their growing realization of the supernatural elements at play. The pastor's eventual recommendation of an exorcism would set in motion a series of events that would capture public interest and influence popular culture through its adaptation in The Exorcist. The exorcism of Roland Doe was a haunting and extraordinary event that involved multiple exorcism rituals. After seeking guidance from their Lutheran pastor and growing convinced of demonic possession, Roland's family believed that these rituals were the only way to liberate him from the grasp of the perceived supernatural force. According to various accounts, Roland underwent several exorcism sessions led by Catholic priests. These rituals aimed to expel the malevolent entity that was tormenting him and causing distressing supernatural occurrences. It was a desperate attempt to rid Roland of the presence believed to be engulfing him. Throughout the exorcism rituals, Roland's reactions were alarming, and violent witnesses described him thrashing uncontrollably, contorting his body in unnatural ways, and displaying an inexplicable strength. These intense outbursts were accompanied by guttural screams and growls, an eerie manifestation of the fierce battle between Roland's true self and the entity believed to have possessed him. Perhaps one of the most chilling aspects of the exorcisms was Roland's transformation of voice. He spoke in a deep, unnatural tone that was distinctly different from his own. The voice was described as menacing and unlike anything those present had ever heard from Roland before. This eerie vocalization only added to the already unsettling atmosphere during the exorcism rituals, solidifying the belief that Roland was undeniably under the influence of a supernatural force. The process of exorcising Roland was a grueling and arduous one spanning several weeks. The Catholic priests conducted repeated sessions of prayers, rituals, and commands, tirelessly working to expel the demonic presence. The extended duration of the exorcism showcased the severity of Roland's demonic possession and the unwavering determination required to confront and overcome the perceived spiritual menace. The impact of the exorcism rituals was profound, not only on Roland but also on his family and those involved in the process. While specific details of the immediate aftermath differ in various accounts, it is generally reported that Roland's condition improved following the exorcisms. The experience left an indelible mark on the witnesses, fueling a lasting fascination with the case of Roland Doe. Its influence on popular culture, particularly through its adaptation in The Exorcist, speaks volumes about the enduring intrigue surrounding this extraordinary case of alleged demonic possession. In conclusion, the exorcism of Roland Doe was a harrowing ordeal characterized by violent manifestations, eerie vocalizations, and an extensive period of spiritual intervention. It stands as one of the most notable cases of alleged demonic possession, capturing the attention of those intrigued by the paranormal and the practice of religious exorcisms. Aftermath improvement in Roland's condition. Following the series of exorcism rituals conducted to free him from the perceived demonic possession, reports indicate that Roland's condition notably improved. The intense manifestations and disturbances that had plagued him, such as violent outbursts and speaking in unfamiliar languages, reportedly ceased or significantly diminished after the exorcisms. Anonymity under the pseudonym Robbie Mannheim. In order to protect his privacy and identity, Roland Doe chose to maintain anonymity, using the pseudonym Robbie Mannheim. This decision has kept his true identity largely undisclosed to the public. Under this pseudonym, Roland has lived a life largely removed from the public eye, allowing him to move forward without the constant scrutiny and attention associated with his extraordinary experiences. Details of later life. Specific details about Roland Doe's later life, particularly after the events of his purported possession and exorcism, remain scarce and largely unknown. It is unclear how Roland adapted to life after the exorcisms, whether he experienced any lasting effects from the ordeal, or what path his life took in the years that followed. Legacy and cultural impact. Despite the mystery surrounding Roland Doe's later life, his case has left a lasting legacy in popular culture and within the realm of paranormal research. The events surrounding his alleged possession and exorcism inspired William Peter Blatty's novel, The Exorcist, 1971, which subsequently became a landmark horror film in 1973 directed by William Friedkin. The cultural impact of The Exorcist has cemented Roland Doe's story as one of the most famous and influential cases of demonic possession in modern history. While Roland Doe's immediate improvement after the exorcisms is reported, his subsequent life has remained shrouded in anonymity. This anonymity has preserved his privacy, but also contributed to the enduring fascination and speculation surrounding his extraordinary experiences and their aftermath. Literary and cinematic influence. William Peter Blatty's novel The Exorcist, 1971, inspired by the reported events surrounding Roland Doe's alleged possession and exorcism. William Peter Blatty wrote the novel The Exorcist. Published in 1971, the novel delves into the fictionalized story of a young girl named Regan McNeil who becomes possessed by a malevolent entity. The novel draws heavily from the themes and details of Roland Doe's experiences, including supernatural phenomena and the intervention of Catholic priests. Impact and reception. The Exorcist novel quickly gained attention and acclaim for its chilling portrayal of demonic possession and the intense spiritual battle waged to free the possessed. It became a bestseller and garnered critical acclaim for its suspenseful narrative, psychological depth, and exploration of faith and evil. Adaptation into film. 1973. The success of the novel led to its adaptation into a highly influential horror film released in 1973, directed by William Friedkin. The film adaptation of The Exorcist became a cultural phenomenon, setting new standards for horror cinema with its intense atmosphere, shocking imagery, and powerful performances. Cultural impact: The Exorcist. Film not only solidified the novel's impact, but also became a landmark in horror cinema history. It garnered widespread acclaim, multiple awards, and significant box office success. The film's portrayal of demonic possession, exorcism rituals, and the battle between good and evil left an indelible mark on popular culture, influencing subsequent horror films and media depictions of exorcisms. Enduring legacy: Roland Doe's experiences, fictionalized in The Exorcist, continue to captivate audiences and inspire discussions about the supernatural, faith, and the boundaries between reality and fiction. The legacy of The Exorcist, as both a novel and film adaptation, underscores the enduring fascination with tales of possession and exorcism, rooted in the reported events that initially sparked William Peter Blatty's imagination. Roland Doe's alleged possession and exorcism served as the primary inspiration for William Peter Blatty's novel The Exorcist, which in turn spawned a groundbreaking and influential film adaptation. Together, these works have left an indelible mark on horror literature and cinema, shaping the way audiences perceive and engage with stories of supernatural horror and spiritual warfare. Legacy: iconic status of The Exorcist. Since its release in 1973, The Exorcist has maintained its reputation as one of the most iconic and influential horror films of all time. Directed by William Friedkin and based on William Peter Blatty's novel, inspired by Roland Doe's alleged possession, the film set new standards for horror cinema with its intense atmosphere, shocking imagery, and exploration of supernatural themes. Cultural impact: The Exorcist not only achieved critical acclaim and commercial success, but also became a cultural phenomenon. It sparked widespread debate and discussion about faith, evil, and the boundaries between the natural and supernatural realms. The film's impact extended beyond the horror genre, influencing popular culture and media representations of demonic possession and exorcism rituals. Continued fascination with Roland Doe's case. Roland Doe's real-life experiences, which inspired the fictionalized account in The Exorcist, continue to intrigue and captivate those interested in paranormal phenomena and supernatural occurrences. The case remains a subject of speculation and debate among researchers, skeptics, and believers alike, who seek to understand the nature of the reported events and their implications for our understanding of the supernatural. Legacy in paranormal research and media. Roland Doe's case has left a lasting impact on paranormal research and investigation. It serves as a reference point for studying alleged cases of possession and the methods used to combat spiritual afflictions, such as exorcism. The enduring fascination with Roland Doe's story underscores its significance in the broader context of paranormal studies and the exploration of human beliefs and fears regarding the supernatural, literary and cinematic influence. Beyond its immediate impact, The Exorcist and Roland Doe's case have influenced subsequent works of literature, film, and television that explore themes of possession, exorcism, and supernatural horror. The legacy of The Exorcist continues to inspire new generations of storytellers and filmmakers who draw inspiration from its chilling narrative and enduring themes. The Exorcist and the case of Roland Doe have left an indelible mark on horror cinema, popular culture, and the study of paranormal phenomena. Their influence persists through ongoing fascination with the supernatural and the enduring power of storytelling that taps into primal fears and spiritual mysteries. Thank you for joining us on this chilling journey into the unknown. If you enjoyed uncovering the eerie and unsettling tale of Roland Doe, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more spine-tingling stories from the world of the supernatural. Hit the bell icon to get notified whenever we reveal another hidden horror. Until next time, keep your lights on and your mind open. You never know what horrors might be lurking just out of sight. Stay curious, stay cautious, and we'll see you in the next episode of Hidden Horrors.